Svarnang yata gravasuhe makara kshetreshu yogaistadabhigya apnuyat kshetreshu deheshu tatatma yogair adhyatma vid brahma gatim labheta Svarnam yata graveshu he makara kshetreshu yogaistadabhigya apnuyat kshetreshu deheshu tatatma yogair adhyatma vid brahma gatim labheta. Adabhigya apnuyat kshetreshu deheshu tatatma yogair vid brahma gatim labheta. Jai Sri Gandharvika Giridhari Mahaprabhu ki jai. Mataji, boliye. Svarnam, gold. Yata, just as. Gravasu, in the stones of gold ore. He makaraha, the experts who know about gold. Kshetreshu, in the gold mines. Yogai, by various processes. Tat abhigya, an expert who can understand where gold is. Apnuyat, very easily obtains. Kshetreshu, within the material fields. Deheshu, the human bodies and all the rest of the 8,400,000 different bodily forms. Tata, similarly, Atma Yogai, by spiritual processes. Adhyatmavit, one who is expert in understanding the distinction between spirit and matter. Brahmagatim, perfection in spiritual life. Labheta, may obtain. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. An expert geologist can understand where there is gold and by various processes can extract it from the gold ore. Similarly, a spiritually advanced person can understand how the spiritual particle exists within the body, and thus by cultivating spiritual knowledge, he can attain perfection in spiritual life. However, as one who is not expert cannot understand where there is gold, a foolish person who has not cultivated spiritual knowledge cannot understand how the spirit exists within the body. Purport. Here is a very good example concerning spiritual understanding. Foolish rascals, including so-called gyanis, philosophers, and scientists, cannot understand the existence of the soul within the body because they are lacking in spiritual knowledge. The Vedas enjoin Tadvigyanartham Sagurum eva bigachet. To understand spiritual knowledge, one must approach a bona fide spiritual master. Unless one has been trained in geology, one cannot detect gold in stone. Similarly, unless one has been trained by a spiritual master, he cannot understand what is spirit and what is matter. Here it is said, Yogais tat abhigya. This indicates that one who has connected himself with spiritual knowledge can understand that there is a spiritual soul within the body. However, one who is in an animalistic conception of life and has no spiritual culture cannot understand. As an expert mineralogist or geologist can understand where there is gold and can then invest his money to dig there and chemically separate the gold from the ore, an expert spiritualist can understand where the soul is within matter. One who has not been trained cannot distinguish between gold and stone. Similarly, fools and rascals who have not learned from an expert spiritual master what is soul and what is matter cannot understand the existence of the soul within the body. To understand such knowledge, one must be trained in the mystic yoga system, or finally in the bhakti yoga system. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 18:55, Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Unless one takes shelter of the bhakti yoga process, one cannot understand the existence of the soul within the body. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita begins by teaching, Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yovanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhirastratra namuyati. As the embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change. Bhagavad Gita 2:13. Thus, the first instruction is that one should understand that the soul is within the body and is transmigrating from one body to another. This is the beginning of spiritual knowledge. Any person who is not expert in understanding this science or is unwilling to understand it remains in the bodily conception of life, or the animalistic conception of life. As confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam, Yasyatma Bhudi Kunape Tridatuke Sa Eva Gokaraha. Every member of human society should clearly understand the instructions of Bhagavad Gita. For only in this way can one be spiritually elevated and automatically give up the false illusory knowledge by which one thinks, I am this body, and everything belonging to this body is mine. Ahamameti. This doggish conception should be rejected immediately. One should be prepared to understand the spirit soul and the supreme spirit, God, who are eternally related. Thus one may return home back to Godhead, having solved all the problems of life. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribol. Thank you. So here, Prahlad Maharaj continues his instructions on Atma Tattva Gyan to his classmates. And he is taking the role of Guru because Guru is the person who has heard from Guru. Prahlad has heard from Narada Muni, and thus he can communicate that knowledge. You can only share what you have received, because if you're in ignorance, what are you going to tell people? So, here, today's topic is Atma Tattva Gyan, and the example, the analogy is given of the geologist and the gold mine, the gold ore. You know that you cannot recognize unless you're a geologist. You don't know where is gold. But a geologist, he can find out, and chemically he can extract the gold. Now, if you were to go, do people like gold here in India? No, not you, right? Gold means nothing to you, right? But some people, they like gold. Crazy about gold, right? Huh? Like Ravana, right? More, huh? As much as possible. So, if you were to go to take a train. And before entering train station, you go and you buy some water. And then somebody's there and says, Prabhuji, I have some gold to sell for cheap. You know, I have to go see my family in, you know, in wherever, you know, I have to go see my family in Jharkhand. And I need some money, so I'm just going to sell my gold for cheap. It's a good deal. Are you going to buy? Huh? You will buy. Are you going to buy or not? Why not? Huh? No use of gold for you, right? Okay, why else you're not buying? You don't know whether it's actual gold or artificial gold. What's the percentage of likelihood that it's actual gold? On a scale from 1 to 10. Minus 10? Why? Wrong place, wrong person, wrong situation, right? But if you don't know, you think, oh, great deal, right? It makes sense. He has to go to Jharkhand. His mom is sick. He needs money for the passage. So I'll give him all my money. He gives me all the gold and I'll make a good deal. And in this way you get cheated. Have you met people who have been cheated? Have you ever been cheated? Never. Yeah, well, you're here in a mature world, so something went wrong, okay? You did not read the fine print on the package. We thought, no, Bangalore is a good deal, right? No, nobody gets out alive. Huh? Have you noticed? What is the death rate in Bangalore? Out of 100 people who are born in a time span of 100 years, how many people die? Approximately. You guys are good at math or not so much? Huh? No. How many? 100. But that's terrible. I mean, this is a youth program, right? We should encourage the kids, right? They still got their whole life ahead of them. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but in 100 years, none of us are going to be here. Okay? Can you get used to that idea, that concept, that this body is temporary? It's not going to last. So, and any? So the point is, we have to understand what is the difference between body and matter and spirit. Matter is what has a beginning and an end. Spirit is anadi, it's beginningless because it's coming from the Supreme Spirit. Now, if you're in engineering college and people see, okay, you're getting into spiritual life and all that, you're talking about Atma, and they go like, how can you prove that there is Atma, right? They ever ask you that? What's the laboratory proof? What's your pramana? Huh? And quoting scripture is not going to work so well because they don't believe in scripture, right? They want hard facts. Give me hard evidence. Okay, we'll give you some hard evidence. All right, are you ready? All right, point to your leg. Point to your arm. Point to your head. Point to yourself. Now, why does everybody go here? This is your chest. Why you point here? Why you don't point here or, huh? Why you point here? Huh? Soul. Because I am the Atma, I'm the soul, and I reside in the heart. That's why everybody, 100% out of 100, will go here. I live here. So, that's proof. Second proof. Cheta, or consciousness, is a manifestation of the soul. And you can see it. You can see it. Look to the person next to you. Look them in the eye. Make eye contact with the person next to you. Do you see somebody? Do you see that somebody's there? That there's some life there? That somebody's responding? You can see, right? Sometimes you're driving in a car or you're on a motorbike And there's somebody else driving next to you and look over and they go like, hey, why are you looking at me? Right? Because there's Cheta, there's consciousness. Stop looking at me. Huh? There's consciousness. That's a manifestation of the soul. Huh? Now, they may say, yeah, but I can't see it. Well, can you see Wi-Fi? Can you see Wi-Fi waves? Can you see radio waves? Can you see X-rays? No. Can you see the noise? No, but you can hear it, right? Huh? So, this whole idea that if I can't see it, it doesn't exist. Well, what about love? Can you see it? Well, there's different manifestations of it. We have to be able to see Shastra Chakshus through the eyes of the scripture. Otherwise, if you only boil it down to laboratory, to mechanical science, you'll miss out on most of what's there. Because what meets the eye is only a very small part of existence. So Bhagavatam is giving us the full range, the 360 on these topics. And that's why it's important that we pay attention. Otherwise, we're going for the packaging and we're missing the essence. Just like somebody were to drown in the lake. Where's the lake? This side, that side, that side. Okay. I always get confused. This place is like a maze, you know. You know, like a maze, you walk around and you get lost, right? Somebody were to get, oh, water. They still have water. I can't believe it. Thank you. So, somebody were to drown in the lake and he's screaming, help, 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 help me, help. So, you jump in, and you bring back the shirt. And you let the person drown. Is that considered a heroic act? Why not? I got the shirt. I got a nice shirt now. Guy's gone, but I have the shirt. Huh? You're not saving the person. That's why just being nice, goody-goody, and giving people a little bit of food, a little bit of medicine, a little bit of education, a little bit of job, it doesn't do the job because you're not saving the person. I have a good friend, Satyadev Prabhu. He's a Prabhupada disciple. He was a paramedic for the San Francisco Fire Department for 21 years. He's also a guru. So he went out on the ambulance. You know 911 people call, accident? He the first responder. He said after 3 months, you have seen every scenario. Murder, suicide, everything. So we asked him, how many people did you save in your 21 years of career? And he was honest. He said, none. I only prolonged their misery. I only prolonged their misery. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't need paramedics. Of course we need paramedics. And of course it's a good work to help people to get back to health. But if we don't understand that if you don't have spiritual health, you're not really going to become happy. Because you'll miss the point. You'll miss the essence. And that is sad. Just like you're going to school to get a degree. Why do you need a degree? Why do you need a degree? Because you need to get a job. Why do you need to get a job? You need money. Why do you need money? But you already have the body. How many chapatis can you eat? 2, maybe 4. You're still young men, right? So, how much do you have to work in order to make 4 chapatis? Am I talking sense here, or is this Chinese? Or Russian or Urdu? No. Okay, so how much do you have to work to make 4 chapatis? Approximately. 200 hours a month? 300 hours a month? No, you don't. 2 chapatis, 4 chapatis, this is this much atta. Huh? You can go and pick that up on the floor of any grain dealer, any place. Huh? No problem. You need money because you want to go to the mall and you want to buy nice clothes, right? Well, why do you need nice clothes? So you can get a job. Why do you need a job? So you can get money. Why do you need money? So you can go and buy clothes. This is called a circular argument. You heard of circular arguments? It goes nowhere. So it's not permitted. It's not logical. Because people are not logical, they're doing a lot of things that are not logical. Now you think, oh, okay, you got a point there, but I still got to go get the job. Yeah, sure. But how much do you have to work? And for what do you exert yourself? How much energy do you want to exert just to maintain this body? That's a choice that every individual has to make. Of course, if you join the rat race, then not much choice, right? You heard of the rat race? Have you seen the rats around here? Last night, I came back. I saw a rat. I thought it was a cat. And he looked at me. What are you looking at? This is my place. I'm like, yeah, you better get going here, you know. Disappeared. So we have to know what is reality and what is illusion. So the Bhagavatam helps us, like an expert geologist who can separate the gold from the ore. So the Bhagavatam teaches us how we can separate vastu or substance from illusion. Because if you don't know that, you will always go for the externals, for the show, and you'll not understand what is the actual meaning behind it. That's why it's important that we read Bhagavatam every day, that we pay attention. Shrinvata svakata Krishna punya shravana kirtana hridyantakstoya badrani vidunoti suritsatam. So by this process of hearing Bhagavatam every day, what happens? That the abhadras, all the things that are troublesome. Do you have things that give trouble to your heart sometimes? Yeah? Sometimes, right? Of course, if you're asleep, nothing gives trouble to you because you're just happy asleep, right? Oblivious. So many things. What gives trouble to your heart? Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. And all the other side effects of that. You know, we were just talking about you. No? Yeah, we're talking about you. You want to know what we talked? Huh? You care sometimes? What people say about you? You do? You don't. Why would you? You're blissful, right? You're ecstatic. Why would you want to know what people tell about you? Huh? If I know that I'm Atma, then whatever people say about the body, the job, the externals, that's all. Water on the back of a duck. Is water on the back of a duck a problem? No? Why not? Huh? He's waterproof, right? Waterproof, perfect creation. So, we have to read Bhagavatam. Shrinvata svakata Krishna. Krishna kata. Huh? Then the abhadras, the unwanted things, they will go away from the heart. How do we have to hear? Not just as a matter of formality. Okay, I attend a class. All right, I got my paper. What did you learn? What did you realize? Learn? Realize? It's boring, man. I just need to go get the job. Huh? Shushru shro shradadhanasya vasudeva kataruchi syanmahat sevayo viprapunya tirtani sevana. You have to hear with shraddha. Means you have to give your heart. Not just superficial hearing, not just formal hearing, but like your life depends on it. I really need this. This is what I really need to know right now. Otherwise, your attention is somewhere else. Your body is here, but your mind is somewhere else. So, then if you hear with that kind of attention, what do you hear? Vasudeva Kata. Not any type of talk, but talks about Krishna, about spiritual life. Then what happens? Ruchi. You gain taste. Taste. And you want more of that. Oh, when can I hear more? I like to hear more. There's so much time. Do you notice? 24 hours in a day? Are you hearing Krishna Katha every day? No. Busy, right? That's the yantra. Busy, busy, busy. Have you heard all of Prabhupada's lectures? How long are commuting every day? People commuting in traffic, right? Why don't you hear Prabhupada's class? Possible? Very much possible, right? You got these little gizmos, these little toys, so why not just connect to Krishna Katha through them and hear that instead of all the noise, all these rash sound vibrations that are going on in this world? Why? Because our taste is not there. We don't have taste for this. We think, oh, again about Krishna. No, I like sports, I like movies, I like economy, I like politics, I like all that stuff. Huh? Because we're like crows. You know crows? Huh? Wherever there's some nasty stuff, you will find the crows. But the swans, they want to be in clean, pure places. Any swans in that lake? No? Not so clean, huh? Not really, right? Yeah. So, how long is class today? What's our timeline? Huh? Till 9:30. Okay, so we have to inquire from the right source. We have to find Guru. Guru is a person who not only has theoretical knowledge, but there has to be jnanam vijnanam. He has to know Shastra and he has to have realization through application. So he can't be an academic. What do academics say? Oh, no, I only study the subject because I don't want to get involved with the subject, because otherwise I will become compromised. Like they asked this guy, you know this joker with the turban? He always wears a different turban and a long beard. He's quite a popular joker on social media. They spend a lot of money to promote his stuff. They asked him, did you read Bhagavad Gita? Did you read Vedas? Did you read Mahabharata? He said no, because I don't want to get influenced by all these things. Huh? I want to be original. I come up with my own stuff. Makes sense, right? Huh? Like Prabhupada asked John Lennon, so who are you following? And they say, me? We're not following anybody. People are following us. We don't follow anybody. Andaya tandhai rupagiyamana tepisa tantram urudham nibada. What happens if the blind are leading the blind? Good morning, Bangalore. What happens when the blind are leading the blind? They all fall in the ditch and break their bones, right? So, when people say, just do as I do. Have you ever heard people say that? Yeah, right. Huh? If you don't know where you're going, any road will lead you there. So me following you will get me nowhere. But who is honest enough to admit, excuse me, I am lost? So, you're in engineering. If you want to know your exact geographical location, how do you find out? First, you have to be awake. You have to be conscious before you're Krishna conscious. And remember, I got things here that I can throw. I got a garland, I got a screwdriver, I have cartels, I have water. Maybe I'll get my skirt gun, my water gun out, You know water guns? Yeah? Did you use water guns? Good fun, right? Yeah, we're going to introduce them in Bhagavatam class. Huh? It's like in the morning, you're in Mangalarti, you're looking at Gandharvika Giridhari, and then one gentle Vaishnava pours like half a cup of water over your head. It's Maha water. And he thinks, Prabhuji deserves another snan, right? One more shower. So they just pour that on your head, like... I was in Mayapur in Guru Puja, and one just took the big jug, and he just splashed the whole thing right in my face. I'm like, thank you. Very nice. The mercy comes in different ways. So, what was the point I was making before I got excited? Any engineers here? Anybody? Engineering? Huh? Somewhat, huh? Somewhat. Okay. So, how do you find out? Like for instance, you go to a zoo. Have you ever been to a zoo? Of course not, right? You're engineers. You don't need any of them boring animals. Have you been to a zoo? If not, you had a miserable childhood, okay? And your homework is you have to go to a zoo, okay? In this month of November. Bangalore has a zoo, I hope, because all these big corporates, They have what's called CSR money. You heard of CSR, corporate social responsibility? So some, because they're trying to make more lemonade with less lemons. So some of that lemonade, some of that juice that they extract from your life, from your prana, from your life force, 2% of that, they have to give it back. And, zoo is a good place where to put it. Okay, so you go to the zoo. What do you like to see in the zoo? Huh? Lion, elephant, what else? Huh? Monkey? Any more? Come on, work with me, people. Snakes, giraffe. Do you like animals? Huh? No, you only like computers, right? So, what's the first thing you go to see in the zoo? This is basic stuff here, okay? We're working in orientation here. This is ground level, introductory class. Yes, first thing is you go and look for the map. And what is the first thing you look at the map? There's a red dot that says you are here. Because if you don't know that, nothing makes sense. Because you don't know where you are. And that's your position right now in this universe. You don't know who you are, you don't know where you are. So you're going nowhere. You might be going ring, 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 ring. You're burning gas and rubber. You've seen these boys? Like the dogs out there all night. Barking, 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 jumping. Not going anywhere, but making a lot of noise. So if you want to get ahead in life, you need a clear signal, like GPS, You need a signal from how many satellites? He knows. 3 satellites, not 1, not 2, 3. Because if you have a clear signal from 3 satellites, you have an exact geographical location. So there's GPS and we have GSS, Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Why only Guru is not enough? Tell me why. So many people say, I have Guruji. I'm initiated. Why is Guru not enough? Okay, yes. You only know if he's really Guru if you also know Shastra. Because Guru is the one who is teaching Shastra. Otherwise, he's just talking out of his elbow, He's just some guy who does a little magic show here. A little, pep talk. And the kids go, wow, wow. Huh? No. Guru is the one who teaches Shastra. So you have to have Guru and you have to have Shastra. Why do you need sadhus? Who are the sadhus? Have you ever heard of peer review? If you want to get a PhD, you have to get it through peer review. It means people in your field who know your subject, they will assess your work. They will say, yeah, smart, but too much AI, too much copying, not really original. Come up with something better. Huh? That's peer review. A peer is anybody who can challenge you. Do you have people in your life who can challenge you? You have? You need them. Because alone you can be good, but you cannot be great. If you want to be great, you need practitioners. You need sadhus who can help you become better. Of course, if you don't have anybody who challenges you, you can also get married. Then you'll have somebody who will challenge you every day. Huh? And that will make you a better person. So, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. All 3, not only one. So many people say, I have Shastra, I have all the books, right? I got Veda, I have this, Trivedi, Chaturvedi, but no interest in Guru, no interest in sadhus, in practitioners. There's so many people going to satsang, but they have 0 philosophical understanding. Okay, you can say nice people, they're singing some bhajan, they're doing some seva, but still, oftentimes misdirected, misled. So, 3, Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. And you get all of those 3 for 1, package deal right here in Iskcon. So you're in the right place, but you have to be conscious. You have to be aware. Now I know you're working long hours, you're studying a lot, you're staying up late, and then, your attention span is a little short, especially when it comes to spiritual topics, and all of a sudden, boom, lights go out, disconnect. Huh? So you have to stay focused. You have to stay connected. Otherwise, you're missing the boat. Did you ever miss the bus or the boat? When you see the bus leaving or the boat? It's not a nice feeling, right? So, this is what Bhagavatam is teaching us. This is what Prahlad Maharaj is teaching his class friends. It's not enough to be smarter, faster, sharper. No. One time I was in Bhubaneswar trying to check in for myself and my spiritual master for a flight to Mumbai. And you know, Bhubaneswar is a small airport, not a big airport. So there was 2 counters, and both of them had the sign, Air India, Mumbai. And one counter, there was a big, long line. And the other counter, there was no line. But both had personnel there. So me being me, because me and lines, we're not friends. You know, we're not friends because I'm from the mountains. I don't like lines of people. So I go straight up to the counter and I want to check in the bags because I'm serving Gurudev and, you know, we got no time to waste. And then I look back and Gurudev is not here. And I look and he's already at the end of the line. And I realize it's not about being faster. It's not about being smarter. It's not about being more efficient. No. It's about doing the right thing. Because everyone is watching. Oh, the sadhus are crashing the line, huh? Yeah. Those Iskcon guys. Yeah. We know them, huh? Just cutting right in front. Not good. Not a good example. So that's why he just went right to the end. You know, everybody gets there at the same time. If you're in an airplane, whether you're boarded first or last, you get there at the same time. Of course, you want to get there first and then get off first, but it doesn't always work. Because oftentimes you're there and no one's there to pick you up. And you wait for an hour. Has this ever happened to you? Or is it just me? Huh? And you wait for an hour, and then the whole airplane, everybody already gone, and you're the last guy to get a ride. So, if you want to actually get ahead in life, you have to read Bhagavatam every day and study it under Guru in the association of sadhus. And then you will make progress towards the ultimate goal, which is 10 crores, 100 crores, 1,000 crores. Huh? What is the ultimate goal? Krishna Prema. Are you convinced of that? It's not California? No? Why not? It's a nice place, no? What about Singapore? What about Switzerland? No? Why Krishna Prema? Nitya Sira Krishna Bhakti Sadhya Kabunoi, Shravana Deshuddha Chitta Koryodoi. Because that's where home is. That's where I am. That's where I'm from. That's my place. Just like Gop Kumar. Have you heard of Gop Kumar? He's a young cowherd boy from Govardhan. But, you know, young boys, they get a little excited. So he wanted to see a few things. Huh? And he went out into the universe and he saw a lot of things. And he became quite involved. And he got a lot of different job offers. And he took them. And then he was in Vaikuntha. But even there, everybody dressed strange and acted strange. Everything was very formal and very rigid. And he did not really feel happy. He did not feel that he really fit in. He was always looking, where's Gopal? Huh? So when he got to Vaikuntha, he saw someone who looked like Gopal, and Vishnu was there. So, and he went, hey, Gopal! And everybody went, who is this guy? What is he doing here? You can't act like that. You know, it's not accepted. You have to, you know. Sahasra Sirsha Purushaha Sahasrakshat Sahasrapad da 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 da. This is how we do here. No, not this Gopal. We know Narayan sometimes he likes to play as a cowherd boy. Yes, that's okay. But here, no. None of that flute stuff and turban stuff. Lose it, okay? Change your dress. Huh? And he said, not my place, not my people. I want to go back to Govardhan. I want to be with Gopal. I want to play with my friend. Huh? So, you have to know where home is. You have to know where home is. And for that, you have to have a clear compass. Huh? Not a broken compass, but a clear compass, a clear sense of direction. You know Boy Scouts? Boy Scouts. Yeah, first thing you learn, where is north? Huh? You know where is north? How do you know? Ah, smart boy. Huh? You have to know, pole star. Yes, that's where north is. Huh? So in a similar way, we have to know where is home. So you can actually find your way home. Hmm? You know, all these animals, the birds, etc., the penguins, they know where is home. The fish, they know. Huh? But we've forgotten because we've been hanging around, getting distracted for too long. So, Prahlad Maharaj is giving us a clear sense of direction, and we're eternally grateful to him, to all the acharyas, to all the mahajans, and especially to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who has given us this Shastra Chakshush, this clear darshan, with purports that are actually perfectly tailored for our adhikar, for our level of understanding. You see, Prabhupada wrote these books for scholars, for practitioners, and for newcomers. Now, this is really difficult. Just like if you write a paper, you want to know who is my audience. Just my professor, or my colleagues, or the public, or lay people. You want to know, who am I going to talk to? Now, Prabhupada, who was he talking to? To the world, to everybody. So he deeply meditated on the Acharya's purports, and then he distilled the essence and put them out in his Bhaktivedanta purports. And that's why lay people, practitioners, scholars, they all find this intriguing. Except us, because we're asleep. And we think, oh no, reading books, why? It's boring. Huh? So invest every day quality time in studying Bhagavatam, and you will see that you will actually make progress towards your ultimate goal. Huh? Hari Om Tat Sat. Questions, comments, or reflections? We got 17 minutes. Yes. Do we have a microphone here? Do they have microphones in Bangalore? Yes.
Hare Krishna.
And they work.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, you have made a point that we should read Shastra with faith, Prabhu. But sometimes it happens that even while reading Bhagavatam, like sometimes it becomes, I'm looking for the points, arguments, how to defeat people in book distribution. I will use this point. So is it a faith, or is it something else that I'm trying to prove a point?
Is it a?
Faith. Like you have mentioned a point.
Is it a what? I couldn't get that word.
Faith. F-A-I-T.
Can you spell it?
Shraddha.
Oh, faith. It's called faith.
Faith.
Fate is like destiny, so pronunciation.
So, Prabhu, you have mentioned that we need to have Shraddha while reading Bhagavatam. But sometimes I read Bhagavatam and I find that I'm looking for the points, although I'm going.
That's okay. There's different ways of reading. Sometimes we read and we just want to relish. Sometimes we read because we want to study. Sometimes we read, we want to extract certain points because, as you said, you have something to write, etc. So that's okay. There's different types of reading.
But what awakens the love for Godhead? In which way I can awaken the love for Godhead? Relishing or looking for points?
Shushushorshadadanasya. You have to know this is Bhavosharat Shrotra Manobirama Dyaduttama Shloka Gunanuvana. Huh? You have to know. Nigamakalpataror galitam phalam shukamukat dravya samyutam pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam muhur muho bhuvibavuka. Third verse of Bhagavatam. What does it mean? Nigamakalpataror galitam phalam. This is the purest, the most sublime, the most relishable fruit of the Vedic scriptures. So many books, so many texts. Why Bhagavatam? Because this is saram. This is the essence of the essence. This is the distilled nectar. That's why you should read Bhagavatam. Shukamukha Drave Samyutam. Shukadev, he touched it with his beak. Sometimes people say, I don't want any interpretation. I don't want any guru. I go direct. Well, do you have what it takes to take directly from Krishna? No, it becomes sweeter through the commentaries of the acharyas. Pipata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. You have to drink this nectar. Like when you get Charanamrit. Like today there's going to be Abhishekam, right? Are they going to have Charanamrit after that? Yes? Do you like Charanamrit? How much you take? 1 drop? 1 glass? 1 bottle? 1 jug? 1 bucket? If you have something that is the life-giving ambrosia, the real nectar, you just go glug, 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 right? You just want more and more of that. But that means there has to be taste. There has to be taste. So whichever way you approach it initially, that's fine. But you have to get to that state where you're actually relishing Bhagavatam and not just doing it for an academic or for a formal or for a ritualistic or for a, okay, yeah, I'm supposed to do this. All right, okay, you got me. This is my tradition and this is my, my group and they expect me to do this. Because otherwise, it's not going to last. As you can see, people are running away from all that stuff. Because they say, I'm not feeling it. I'm not, it's not my choice. It's not what I signed up for. Okay? Yes, but you have to use the mic, otherwise no point.
One last question, Prabhu. Prabhu, sometimes I also face a problem that sometimes people asking the questions, and even though I know at that time I'm not able to answer, but I've heard your past time that when you went to Udupi and you are distributing books, and one Swamiji came and you gave him small book and he asked you about your qualification, and you said that Gopir Bhatur Padakamalyo Dasa Dasu no Das. So he became happy and he took it. But so how
people don't expect all the big answers, but they expect honesty. Because a hypocrite, hypocrisy? Somebody who's a pretender. That's not accepted. So if you say, look, I'm new at this. I'm a student, but I really like it, I really learned a few things and I really appreciate this, but I'm new. So what you do is you take the book, and if you have very good questions, you're an intelligent person, you come to temple. There's some people who are really knowledgeable and who have been practicing for a long time, and they will be able to answer all your questions. People say, yeah, this is an honest guy, He's honest, he's admitting, I don't have all the answers. When I started, I was 15 years old. How old are you now? 22. So I went out and I told people, I'm a monk. And they looked at me and went like, does your mom know that you're here? Old ladies would bring me chocolate. This is Switzerland. And I said, I'm a monk. We don't eat chocolate. And they went, oh. So I realized maybe I'm not yet a monk, So just tell them I'm a student, or I'm working in IT, or I'm a household, I run a business or whatever. Just be honest. Sve karmanya birata. You have to know what is your adhikar, what is your level of realization, and you speak according to that level. Don't try to pretend and to impress. Try to improve yourself. And people will appreciate that. And they will say, yeah, let's help the kid. Yeah, you're a student. Okay, what do you need? You want me to take the book? Yeah, I'll give you a donation, sure, because you're honest. But if you want to make a big show and play that you're the big katakar or the big sadhu, people will poke holes in you. People will want to make you trip. You have seen, right? So, but if you take the humble role, then it's all good. It's all water on the back of a duck. It's all bring it on, I'm doing this for seva. Okay? And it takes time. It takes a little practice. So don't waste energy with debate, with arguments, with, all this questioning. It all comes from manodharma. It's all a lot of mind talk. Because people are in technology, it's vata, you know, it's a lot of aggravated minds. You tell them that smartness doesn't cut it. People are looking for hardness. They don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. So if you want to improve your life, you have to work a little bit on your soft skills, which means, you know, emotional intelligence. How do you feel right now? I ask students, how do you feel right now? And they say, I don't feel anything. I say, where should I hit you? Where should I hit you? You need to get an emotional response. Huh? Excuse me, we have a patient here. He's not feeling anything. Don't touch him. It must be the brain or the spine. Don't move him. We're bringing the ambulance. Huh? Right now, we're so desensitized. We don't even know that we're in trouble. So many people, they don't even feel pain. Have you noticed? You walk around, people bump into you, people hit you. They don't even notice, right? They're desensitized. So that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. So we should become highly sensitive through this process of Krishna consciousness. Because Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that means he's very aware, he's very supremely conscious, he's very sensitive. So much so that he's bhavagrahi janardana. He accepts the bhava, he accepts the mood, the spirit in which we offer. Not the thing, the spirit. So if you're still stuck on ritual, on duty, if we're still stuck on fear-based religion, I do it because otherwise what? Huh? Grandma's not going to be happy, going to lose my job, going to lose my friends. That's fear. Fear. It's not love, it's fear. Krishna is not attracted to fear. Krishna is looking for love. Huh? Otherwise, you're at best aspiring for liberation. And that's not good enough. For a mundaner, that may be something great. But from a point of view of a bhakta, of a devotee, liberation, what a waste of time. Nirvana. Get out of the forest. And then what? What are you going to do? Oh, I'm going to heaven. What are you going to do there? I don't know. Who are you going to be with? I don't know. For eternity. You're going away for a weekend. You want to know where you're going, where you're staying, what you're eating, what you're doing, right? And who you're doing it with. But you're going somewhere for eternity, and you don't know where you're going, what you're doing, and who you're going to be hanging out with. Does that make sense? No. Doesn't make sense whatsoever. Totally illogical. That's why they're lacking sambandha gyan. They're lacking context. Yes, you got the mic? Use it.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for a wonderful session. My question is, Prabhu, two questions are there. When we go for...
Did you notice how this sound system is very, very muffling? It's not really clear. Do you notice? Or is it just me? You notice, right? Okay. So try to speak distinctly.
Okay. Question is, Prabhu, like when we are going for book distribution, there are two types of people. First one is they have Lakshmi with them, but they are not able to give us. They are interested.
They're not able to
purchase the book.
Why?
My question is how to convince them. And another person is they have more interest, but they don't have Lakshmi enough. So how can convince them?
It's very simple. The first category, you just ask them to make a donation. The second category, you give them the book. You got it? Problem solved. It's a joke. Some people, yeah, they have a lot of money, but they may not be that interested. Is that a problem? No. Why would it be a problem? It's okay. You can still donate. It's a good cause, and you have more money than you can need. So give something. And then you give them a book, and you say, I'm not reading. You say, give it as a gift to somebody, or I can give it to somebody. It's okay. And you have other people, students, they don't have much money. You still give them the book, even if they have less money or no money, because they pay with their sincerity. It's called arbitrage. You know arbitrage? You have to find the way of negotiating, you know, between two customers. And it's your averages that count. Like in your exams, it's not that highest grade or that lowest grade. It's your medium. That's what counts, okay? So you just keep your medium high enough so you have a passing mark, okay? All you have to do is pay the bills, pay the BBT, right?
But their arguments are more. They will waste our time. They are asking.
No, you don't argue. No time to waste with arguments. You just tell them, you're a nice guy. This is a nice book. This is a good combination. Give something. You don't enter into all this, no Ramananda Samvad. Useless, waste of time. None of that. Just inspirational. For you, give something now. Okay, fine. If not, next. Is there a lack of people here in Bangalore? No lack of people, right? Plenty of people. Traffic jams, 24/7. You have to look for the ripe fruit. Have you ever gone on a farm? You know what farms are? Like where they grow food and with these cows and stuff like that? You go picking fruits, you pick the ripe fruits. Just like with people. The ones who look at you, they go like, hey, are you going to talk to me? Yeah, I have something for you. Those people you talk to. Not those who they avoid eye contact. They want to go in a different direction. They don't want to touch the book. Let them go. Let them go. There's 5 people waiting for you. But you're chasing after that hard one. Yeah, if you're expert, you can catch that one and can you make him take the book, but it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of effort. Did you ever crack nuts? Yeah? No, you only buy the ones that already come cracked, right? No. If you actually, I went to farms to pick fruits and nuts and all that stuff. So then sometimes a nut is really hard to open. What do? Next, right? You take the next one. Yeah, you can take the hammer and you go. But then it's all mixed, nut with shell. It's no fun. You ever bite? It's not good, right? So it's the same with people. If you force them, it's not so good. Huh? So you try. And after a while, you become more expert. And Krishna will give you the tools, how you can handle more difficult customers. But initially, just go with the flow. Okay?
Thank you, Prabhu.
All that stuff is in this book here. 40 years of experience, how to talk to people, how to communicate a message in an attractive way, what to do and also what not to do. And you can get your own copy right here, right now, available. For how much? $250. Okay? Printing cost only, BBT book. Money back guarantee. If you don't like, you can go see him and you get a refund. All right? Okay? So thank you for showing up on this Saturday morning. 50% of your success is showing up at the right place at the right time. The other 50% is utsaha, enthusiasm. You have to put your heart into it. You can't just do it externally. You have to actually invest your emotion. But that means you have to be there. You have to actually be with it. And then Krishna, he can guide you. He can direct you. He can use you as an instrument. And there's nothing more blissful than being an instrument in Guru and Krishna's hands. Because you're right there where the magic happens, where people transform. It's life or death situation. And boom, they revert back. Sometimes people say no, and they walk away. And you say, I wish you a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. I love you too. They walk away. After 5 minutes, they come back. All right, I take it. Okay, give me the book. What happened? He was already gone. Dead, gone. What happened? Krishna said, hey, Chief Jago. He's a nice guy. Don't be an idiot. Go back. Take the book. Give him something. Have you had experience like that? So many, right? And people are surprised themselves. Why am I coming back? I had a Christian couple. They were, bah, 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 bah. And I was like, yeah, I love you too. Thank you for being such nice Christians. And they walked away. After 5 minutes, they came back. They said, we're really sorry. We were idiots. We were not in a good mood. We really apologize. I said, yeah, it's okay. You can take the book. It's fine. So I made them buy the book. They were happy, but, so sometimes it's interesting to see these scenarios. So this is purification, Chetodarpana Marjana. Why is Krishna doing this to me? Because he loves me. He wants me to deal with rejection, with arguments, with proposals, with distractions. You have to learn how to deal with that. It's called Sankirtan Yoga, the school of life. This is Yuga Dharma, Harinam Sankirtan. It's not fire sacrifice. It's not temple worship. It's not meditation. It's Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. But right now we're a little stuck in comfort zone. Have you noticed? Life is a little comfortable. Because you're still in cozy mode. You're still, in bachelor mode, cruisy mode. Yeah. But I guarantee you, once you get out into the real world, it's gonna be a roller coaster. You've been on a roller coaster? Huh? So, and if you're not prepared, you can get knocked out of the saddle. So, Bhagavatam, this is the school of life. So you're in the right place, doing the right thing. Thank you for signing up. And it's a lifetime endeavor. It's not just, I need to get Diksha, or, I need to, get free from pain, or, I need to get a little clarity, a little more gyan. No, we want the highest thing. So don't sell yourself short. Don't just, start buying gold at the train station or at the bus stop. Okay, thank you very much. We'll have another class today at noon during the Abhishek. And you can get your books right there in the back. If you want to make gifts for a few friends, if you have any friends, or you want to make new friends, make them a gift, okay? So you can buy a few cases of those books and see what happens. See what happens. Because education is the tide that raises all the boats or all the canoes. Because a culture is preserved not through legislation, but through education, through role models, through people who show by their own example. As you may have noticed, everything's available in Bangalore, but not everything is going so well. There is trouble in paradise. So thank you for taking Krishna consciousness seriously. It's a lifetime endeavor. So don't just come here to buy the t-shirt and get the mala and then move on to bigger and better things. But this is a lifetime endeavor. And you have to feel a little bit of stretch. Did you feel a little bit of stretch during the class when I was launching a few missiles and, asking you a few things, trying to make you slightly uncomfortable, to draw you out of that, I'm okay, everything's fine, cozy mode? Because in comfort zone is plateau. There is no growth. If you want to grow, you have to stay in stretch zone. And that means we have to go out of our little secure environment into the greater unknown, which is known as the public, and face the music and deal with people who are a little different. And just understand, there's a soul there. There's a jiva. In that packaging, there is a soul. There's a brother. There's a sister. They're all part of family. And they're just forgotten. They just got a little distracted. And I want to remind them and help them to reconnect with Krishna. And that is most pleasing to Guru and Krishna. And that will accelerate your spiritual growth. Like, you'll go like a rocket. You're like taking off. But if you're just worried about your own salvation, the process is going to be exceedingly slow. And for me, because I'm impatient, as you may have noticed, that's not acceptable. I want to speed up that process. So start helping others, and Krishna will help you. Thank you very much. Grantarat Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, devotees can quickly grab the book from Love Prabhu there and come back. Prabhuji you can get it signed from the author himself here. Hare Krishna.
Yes, free signature. No extra charge.
So memory, Prabhuji.